much are you supposed to be charging for a piece of cooter?
Welcome to Cooter Economics 101. I'll start off this class by saying the ones that are charging for it are charging way too much, and the ones that ain't are giving way too much away. It's a saturated market. It's about the most saturated market you're going to find. You can't throw a rock in a crowd without hitting 3 pieces of cheap cooter. Now, if you're buying cooter individually, the going rate on average is about $43. However, if you find a single mom that the dad ain't in the picture, then you're in it a Dollar General toy, $10 worth of gas, and a little bit of attention. If you find one that thinks her shit don't stink, you'll probably have to spend $100 to $150 on a nice meal, and you're still in there anyway, so you're good.
Go to the nail salon. Can you just cash out me $350?
$350? Yeah, $350.
Yeah, I gotta get my nails done.
I must look like a goofy or something to you.
What you mean?
$350? I'm not doing that. $350 for nails. I've already been paying all the dates. And I know no nails don't cost no $350 anyway. I don't know
my
where
nails and my toes.
Mm.
I'm getting a full set and a pedicure.
But y'all want IG models.
Yeah, that's a lie. I ain't doing that right now.
Anyways, can you just cash out me, please?
Why you saying anyways? I just told you no.
Are you serious? Are you acting in front of them or are you for real?
Nah, what you mean? Like that's wife stuff. Like I don't not just coming out of the pocket for nails, bills, dates. You want me to pay for everything.
Oh, so you really not finna you really gonna do this in front of them?
$350 ain't much.
$350 ain't much.
Give her the money for the nails.
See, that's why me and you don't go together.
Yeah, you give it to her. I ain't got it.
Oh, well, if you don't have it, just say you don't have it, babe.
I don't got it for you.
I want to give a special shout out to all my brothers that realize that a hand is a man's best friend, and you don't have to pay nobody for pleasure that you can give to yourself. It's a whole bunch of 304's out here not getting paid. What they selling is bad business. People waking up to the fact that these women ain't got no morals or no standards. We about to get into this news, but before we do that, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. But that's how you know that most of these women nowadays, they're not dating because they're really trying to get to know somebody. They're only dating to try to extract resources from as many men as possible. That's their whole game. I heard somebody on social media actually make a great point. They said that a lot of women nowadays have taken tactics from 304's, women of the night, strippers, dancers, those type of women from that life, and they're using those tactics on everyday men as everyday women, not realizing that you can't use 304 tactics when you just trying to date regularly. Like if you really trying to date as a regular woman and you trying to meet a husband, you cannot use hoe tactics. And that's what a lot of y'all doing. When I heard that, I was like, bingo. He hit it dead on. That's exactly what it is y'all using. I've known 304, so I know they tactics, and that's the tactics that y'all use. Sad.
You ask a man to get your nails and your feet done or to put gas in your car or to get you some lunch. They put it in the same bucket as being used. Do you really think a woman these days can't get her nails and her feet done or put freaking gas in her car or buy herself a Chick-fil-A #1 meal?
I swear to God, I always be trying to figure out, like, why do men think it's okay to ask for cat, but y'all don't be offering nothing? Baby, at this big age, young ladies, listen to me. If he can't help you, and he ain't doing nothing for you, baby, you need to be looking the other way. You need to be going the other way. You don't need to be giving him nothing because he ain't giving you nothing. Because still at this big age, and I'm almost 30, at this big age, men will really have the audacity to make jokes and hint about what's between my legs, my friend legs, anybody. At this big age, you would think they'd be done grown up, but at this big age, they will joke about that and they will want it. For real, feel like they deserve it. Feel like they're entitled to what's attached to you. But ask that motherfucker for $20 for some gas.
This man said, why every time I meet a woman, she's behind on her bills or she needs help with a bill? If that's something that you're questioning and it's bothering you, upsetting you, that you have to bring it to the internet, you don't need to be meeting women right now.
For the fellas out there, you got a choice. You gonna help a sister out or you gonna leave her alone? A lot of people need help nowadays. And as a man, you're supposed to be a provider. But if you're not in a position to provide for the hoes that you wanting, maybe you need to get married, find you a decent woman and provide for her. Either way, you're gonna have to provide as a man, unless you plan on living with your mama all your life. It's okay to take care of somebody. That don't mean you gotta take care of everybody. That's why a lot of men that got somebody not worried about nobody else, because it's too expensive. And for the women out there that don't have a man, y'all just out of luck.
I don't get why I'm still single. I don't get it. I'm a catch. What is going on in my life where I don't have a man?
Honestly, bro, I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 next year. I literally cannot date. First of all, I don't think I'm gonna date until I finish my master's, or get close to a master's, or at least get close to hitting 100K yearly. That being said, I cannot date a man who is unpredictable. I don't want to date a man who I had to forgive for doing weird shit to me before.
The guy likes them, they go on a date, they go on a couple of dates, the guy ends up asking them to be their girlfriend, and they're just happy and in a relationship. For me, it's never been like that. I always meet a guy, you know, we go on a date, everything seems good. They seem like a good guy, they seem like, you know, we want the same things, and then guess what? After a month or two, they say, I'm not ready for a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't feel like right now is the right time. And you're like, what just happened here? Like what just happened here? I'm not understanding.
Baddies are getting married every Saturday, while the good girls, it can't be like say good girls no they marry. Has anyone else? You don't reason now. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. The bad girls are outside. These girls are outside. They are everywhere. You go to church on Sunday, the bad girls are there. You go to Wednesday girls' nights, they are there. Or one be Friday, Saturday nights, they are there. Those girls are outside. And these guys took my light. So now who men see outside, that is who they marry. But good girls, after your Sunday church service, that's all. You go to work, come back, nothing. Girl, try to come out. If you think your husband is going to come to your house and knock for you to open your door, it's a lie. After going to church on Sunday, pick your stuff, get dressed, go outside, position yourself. That is how you meet a man, all right? The fact that you're a church girl now doesn't solve anything. That is not the end of it. Even as a good girl, you have to go out there. That is how you meet reasonable men. Then, good girls, change your mindset. I know some of you will be like, you cannot meet your husband on the road. You cannot meet a man. Girl, you go meet man for club and he go marry you. Straight up.
Have y'all seen that thread on Twitter of men showing receipts, basically of women like begging them for money? When I tell you, I've been dying laughing at that thread for like days now. I can't believe it, but I'm actually on the man's side when it comes to this, because the way that some of these women are begging men for money, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a pick-me, and I totally feel like a man should be paying for a lot of things. But asking a man for money and you've only known him for 2 days is just, it's wicked. Really hurting my heart, y'all. I'm hoping that majority of those women actually hate those men and they just want them to stop texting them. Because if there's a man that you don't want him around and he refuses to leave you alone, I'm telling you, the quickest way to get rid of him is to ask him for some money. I promise you. It works every time like a charm, okay?
Okay, if you're a man, I want to give you some game. Women, I'm not going to speak for all women, but high value women, and we all have our own understanding or standards when it comes to what's high value and what's not, but women who love unconditionally, women that are patient, women who are actively doing the inner work and actively allowing God to mold them into wives, they're not trying to play y'all. They're not. Yeah, like, when God starts to mold a woman into being a wife, all the mind games go out of her head and she goes into her heart. And so what a woman does from that place is genuine. She's not trying to play games.
I don't know what they talking about, but just keep your money in your pockets, fellas. We got a different breed of women out here, and we also have a different breed of men that cause for women to be a different breed of women. There's a whole lot of brothers that want to take the female route, and that leave women with no choice but to take the masculine route. But for the men out there that want to be men, my advice to you is keep your money to yourself, because it has been proven in these days and time that women can be their own man.
A lot of women today act like escorts.
If a man has to pay you for your time in order to go out with you, you're an escort, okay? Because us regular girls are not charging men money to take us out on a date.
Like, girl came on Beyonce's internet in her bonnet and said that men make it hard for her to thrive in her feminine energy because, like, when she asks for, like, stuff to get her nails done for some money, they don't never do it.
I feel like these days niggas be trying to make it hard to thrive in your feminine energy. Like, they're upset that you a girl. You mad that I'm emotional. You don't want to put money on my nails or help me out with no bills. Like, don't get mad at me because I'm being the girl that I am when a man is supposed to lead and provide. Just be honest with yourself and go.
Sis, what do you thriving in your feminine energy got to do with a man giving you money and getting your nails done? What does your feminine energy... This is how I know a lot of y'all bitches are not feminine. Excuse me. I forgot. Y'all get offended when I call y'all that. This is how I know a lot of y'all witches are not feminine. Because you associate femininity to a man purchasing things for you. You guys are not feminine and you've never had anything before. The difference between girls who can and the girls who can't is that the girls who can and who are and who do aren't online complaining about what they're not receiving from a man. There are plenty of men willing to do for women. And there are plenty of women being done for by very generous men. You have to ask yourself, my good sis, why are you not one of those women?
Okay, so I understand from a logical perspective why men say that us women do not take accountability and we don't listen. Because we can't even take accountability and listen to our fellow sisters when they come bestowing knowledge upon us that can help us or better our future for later so that we don't become a stumbling block for others. But we don't do that. We criticize and we try to point out other people's flaws and other people's transgressions that they once did. And it's just like, what point does that make? Where does that get to? You're proving that you are an ignorant person when you don't take heed of knowledge, especially when somebody comes telling it to you in love. Yeah, they're not calling you out your name. You know what I'm saying? They're not belittling you. They're just telling you the truth. And because conviction is settling in, you think that they're judging you unjustly. My goodness. So I made a post telling women if they don't want men lusting after them, then put your clothes on. And the women that don't want to be lusted by men, but yet wear provocative clothing, found a way to go against that and reverted back to men. My goodness. The lack of accountability is why we don't have unity. It's why a man can't walk in his authority without being called insecure. Or anything other than a leader when he's protective. When he shows his protection and not just by his strength, but how he cares for you because how he wants you covered. Why have we been so programmed to be at war with these men, but we need them? And I know what comes after that. She's a pick-me. Yeah, okay. Well, I'd rather be picked by a man than you. And that's not the point. When women throw that out, it's because they don't have a valid rebuttal. This is why I always say that the term pick-me is just a bulletproof vest for the unteachable, while accountability is the bullet. And this isn't a low blow to men, but baby, men are the easiest thing to get out here. But being picked isn't the motive. But learning from your mistakes and taking heed to knowledge is. It just baffles me because usually the women that throw that term out there are the ones that do everything to get a man's attention. Quite uncanny. Overall, I love my sisters, I really do. Y'all be so beautiful. You ain't got to do all that. I had to learn it. See, the crazy thing is, I didn't have nobody to teach me. I had everybody amping me up, though. You know what I'm saying? Watching me self-destruct. I don't want you to get there. That's why I teach you in love. Take heed. It's okay. Just remember, beauty is revealed from the inside before it is revealed on the out, okay?
I find it funny that y'all are out here really surprised that the girlies are begging for money. The British girlies are begging for money. The American girlies are begging for money. Everybody's begging for money. Like, there isn't a woman out here that's not begging for money. And I'm not saying all women. But there is a large portion of women out in this world, the whole earth, that beg men for money. That's just simple as that. In some cultures, they do it more than others, right? And some like to label it as something else. Some like to label it as, bare minimum. Some like to label it as a man providing. Like, it's essentially at the basis of it is begging. It's begging. Because the woman that's not begging for money, the woman that's not asking a man for money is a woman who's actually employed. I'm going to just keep it a buck. The woman that is not asking a man for money is a woman that's employed. gainfully employed too. That woman is not asking for money. That woman could care less about his money.
It's been on the news the past couple of months that a lot of sisters got laid off, but don't get it twisted. There's still a lot of women out here making plenty of money, don't need nobody for nothing. And before they ask a man for money, they got people in their family, they got friends, they got resources to come up on some bread. So don't get it twisted and start thinking that every woman out there want a man for their money. There's a certain caliber of women out there, always have been, always will be, the same way there's a certain caliber of men out there that prey on women that got money. There's a bunch of brothers out there living with their baby mama, living with their girlfriend, ain't putting nothing on the table. So don't make it seem like it's a bunch of women out here that's begging men for money. Even though it is, it's not as bad as the internet is trying to make it seem. But for all you brothers out there watching, if somebody asks you for some money, I don't care if it's a male or female, tell them no, unless you're in the mood to do some charity.
A lot of people don't want to hear it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Modern women are an issue for this world. I saw this live stream yesterday of this woman speaking on how men are the reason why their daughters go out and sell themselves and end up on the pole, right? But in the same breath, she also said that fathers who are there raise pick-me's and women who accept abuse and disrespect. And I just think like that's the most backwards logic. Like it doesn't even make 1 ounce of sense, right? Modern women, in my opinion, from what I've seen, they love to play the blame game. They will blame the father, the mother, the childhood trauma, the dog, the cat, the ex-boyfriend, the pastor, the preacher, anybody they can name except taking accountability for what they are going through. Never looking at the role that we as women play in raising the next generation. The crazier part is that when women choose modesty, they choose submission, they choose to be separated from the modern women, they're made fun of, they're talked about, they're called pick-me's. But in reality, these are women who will help build strong communities. In our nation of people, we need strong families, we need strong marriages, and we need a strong community. And that's how you build it. Not with women who lack accountability and blame everybody but themselves. Twisting accountability and correction into abuse and disrespect. Like, that doesn't... Come on, y'all. And a woman who can't handle correction in order thrives off chaos. And chaos is not going to do anything but damage our community. Modern women don't choose to get back into being traditional women. It's not just us as women who lose, it's the men, the children. Ultimately, the whole nation is going to crumble. Because let's keep it real, Black women create broken homes. They love that thing. If you disagree, chat with me in the comment section. But I said what I said.
Whenever men are angered by my posts and they say single women keeping women single, I already know they're like a part of they're the reason why there is a male loneliness epidemic, because they believe that being in a relationship with them is superior to being single. Relationships aren't flexes. They're not a one-up, especially if your partner is a loser. If you're going 50-50, if you're not being considered, if you're always angry, if it's not truly working, which majority of the time, y'all just be with people just to be with them. That's not a one-up. That's not a, oh, my life is better. Like, where did we get that idea? Because I thought we all came to the agreement that a lot of villains, a lot of evil people stay in relationships. Remember when y'all was like, oh, a nigga that beat bitches always got a bitch to beat? Why do y'all think now that single women are the villains when a lot of time the villains are the ones that are in the relationship? I'm not the enemy just because I'm trying to tell your girl that you're a loser because you don't give her flowers on a regular basis unless you're trying to apologize for something. I'm not the villain. You are. You don't want women to wake up to the fact that y'all offer the bare minimum. Because if every woman understood it, if there were no pick-me's, if every woman was secure and she saw the signs quickly, y'all would be even more than y'all are right now.
Whatever anyone's reason is for not having a child is a valid reason, no matter what it is. But this right here, this really hit home for me because I saw a lot of comments like this, but also because I have witnessed this myself with friends and family.
I will acknowledge that there are fathers who are very active and very present in their children's lives. However, there is still a huge discrepancy when it comes to child rearing, with mothers typically taking on a bulk of the work. And somehow, there are some men who magically become incompetent and turn into a bonus child when an actual child enters the home. It's scary. I have seen it. I have seen that switch turn off where they just forget how to function in the household. But once it's anything outside of the household, they're fully capable. And I don't like that. Women are held to a ridiculous standard of perfection, especially when it comes to parenting. And unfortunately, some men, some fathers become aware of that and take advantage of it. They know that their wife, the mother of their children, would never do anything to put their child in harm's way. So why not slack off? She's just going to pick up my slack anyways. And as that's going on, because we live in a patriarchal society, these very men are the same ones that make decisions about women's bodies, make decisions about women's rights. Yeah. Miss me with that.
So let's call a spade a spade. As a 30-something-year-old woman, I am trying my hardest to swallow this pill, to deal with the harsh reality that no matter how many accomplishments I have, no matter how much I do, no matter what title I hold, no matter how many people I'm helping or impacting, it doesn't matter because I'm not married and I don't have any kids. That for a woman is, or at least should be, the most important thing. And until I achieve that, nothing else that I've done really matters. And that's hard to accept.
Tell me what y'all think about these 304's running out of business. It ain't like the good old days where the value of $1 was a lot more than it is now. And to keep it real with y'all, the value of that cat done dropped ever since Nelly dropped that tip drill video back in the day. Actually, the stock dropped when Uncle Luke came out with them nasty videos. That really devalued a whole lot of ladies out there that don't want to represent themselves like real women. But either way, I love my sisters. I love the women out there. Always have and always will.